Luke Thomas for SB Nation, here to preview Saturday's Manny Pacquiao versus Chris Algieri fight, which will take place on November 22nd at the Venetian Macau, only on HBO pay-per-view. Now, interesting note, in his boxing career, Chris Algieri never fought outside of New York, much less the United States. This is the second time that Manny Pacquiao has competed in Macau, China. So you might be asking, who is Chris Algieri? Good question. He's an orthodox fighter, about 5'10", has a 72-inch reach, which is going to be an advantage for him because Manny Pacquiao at 5'6" and only a 67-inch reach, that's a bit of a disadvantage. Also note though, Manny Pacquiao has fought tall fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, who had a 73-inch reach. Manny Pacquiao retired him. But Chris Algieri is a real talent. Now, how did he get to the point where he got a title fight for the WBO welterweight title opposite Manny Pacquiao? Two fights you want to look at. The first, Emmanuel Taylor. Emmanuel Taylor, another rising prospect with really good fundamentals. That fight, 10-round non-title. Chris Algieri simply outboxed him, showed great technical fundamentals in winning that fight. But the real one, the real key to the whole thing, when he shocked and surprised even boxing insiders, was the Ruslan Provodnikov fight in June. This was a fight that he was not expected to win. Ruslan Provodnikov is a destroyer, a forward-moving bull of a fighter. Freddie Roach trained too, by the way. And this was a guy in 2013, had the fight of the year with Timothy Bradley, a two-time opponent, by the way, also of Manny Pacquiao. Provodnikov had just beaten Mike Alvarado for the WBO light welterweight title. He was coming in as the clear favorite, and in fact, it looked that way early, knocking down Chris Algieri twice in the first round. But Chris Algieri showing unbelievable courage and maybe more importantly, true technical ability, stuck his jab out there and really outboxed Provodnikov for much of the rest of the fight, taking a split decision victory and his light WBO welterweight title. It should be noted that Chris Algieri is a real boxer, great movement, great footwork, strong use of a stinging jab, really never out of position, not so much a puncher though, and that's where Manny Pacquiao comes in. He has looked good against Brandon Rios in Macau, China, and then of course more recently against Timothy Bradley. But it's interesting to note about who Pacquiao is now versus who he was or used to be. Manny Pacquiao used to be a guy who was known for violent aggression, and he still is a great finisher, but even Eric Morales and Timothy Bradley, two previous Pacquiao opponents, both say he's a much more complete fighter today. He has the ability to get inside the range of taller, longer fighters, like he did against De La Hoya, like he did against Margarito, and like he did even against Morales. Two keys to the fight to pay attention. If Pacquiao is on the outside of the longer and taller Chris Algieri, it's going to be a long night for Pac-Man. But if he's on the inside, that's telling you who's winning that fight. The second key to this is Manny Pacquiao's age. In December, he's going to be 36 years old. Now, Bradley and Morales say he's a more complete fighter, and that's probably true, but he's also an aging fighter. He didn't look like he had a whole lot of signs of physical decline against Brandon Rios or really Timothy Bradley, but it's something to pay attention to for a guy who's going to need to use his footwork and has had cramping issues in the past. Will they show themselves here? For more coverage of this, go to our boxing blog, badlefthook.com, and of course, SB Nation. I'm Luke Thomas. Enjoy the fights.